Shalom, everyone. Shalom. This is Brother Ned coming to you today. Before we get started, I want to go ahead and get into this brief public service announcement. We here at the King James Bible University, KJBU, in the House of the Lost Sheep of Israel, in the House of Jehovah, are not affiliated, nor do we associate or stand with any Christian group or any Christian church, any Christian belief system, or a black street camp group that call themselves Hebrew Israelites, or any camp belief or any camp doctrine, or any others teaching anything other than the pure doctrine recorded in the King James Bible with the Apocrypha. KJBU stands alone from any other organization or any group that claims that they worship the God of the Bible. We do not take any donations. We don't take no love tokens. We don't take any money or sell you anything. So let it be known today, we the children of Israel are the followers of Jehovah, the true God of Israel, the God of the Bible. We are not followers of any man or any idol that men worship. Our God is the God of Israel, whose name is Jehovah. We do not worship Jesus, the man in whom Christianity has deemed to be a God. Those of you who do not understand this statement, feel free to email me at mjned@kjbu.org. Again, shalom. This is Brother Ned. I'm a student here at the King James Bible University. And today's lesson is a continuation of the teaching, Judas. Who are you? These lessons were sparked by someone of a Christian leadership saying, and I quote, "What a friend we have in Judas." So this sparked me to do research on Judas. In the last two lessons, we showed the genealogy of Judas and the meaning of the name Judas in the Bible, followed by the showing of the meanings of hypocrisy and hypocrite. Then we showed the character of Judas Iscariot being full of hypocrisy. And we left off where Jesus called Judas a friend as the betrayal was playing out. So that begs the question, what kind of friend was Judas Iscariot? We will start off by looking at the function of the word friend. However, I do want to play this short similitude real quick, and then we're going to get into that showing the function of friend. All right, so now that that's played, we're going to look at this friend. Let's pull up the friend. Let's see here, a spiritual dictionary. There you go. All right, friend. It's a companion, a neighbor. Also, let's go back over here. A friend. Also, companion, familiar, brother, fellow priests, ministers, neighbors, my God, friend, kinsfolk. And you got one more. Let's see. Let's go right over here to it. Friend, companion, neighbor, associate, acquaintance, an ally, or confidant. With all that, or with all this that's being shown, you could say that a true friend is one who is in accord with Jehovah. This would allow all the characteristics of a true friend to show. So let's look at these characteristics. Let's show this. Move this dictionary out the way. We're going to go over to Sirach chapter 6. You're going to pick it up at verse 7. So Sirach chapter 6, verse 7 says, if thou wouldest get a friend, prove him first, and be not hasty to credit him. So this friend must be proven first. If you're going to get one, you got to prove it. And don't be hasty to credit him as your friend. Everybody's not your friend. Let's go to Proverbs 17. We're going to pick up a little more. Proverbs 17 and 7. It's going to prove the point. What I mean by everybody's not your friend. It's going to prove the point here once we get into it. Proverbs 17:17. Oh, this is 18. Proverbs 17, verse 17, right here. A friend loveth at all times. So a friend keeps the promise at all times. And a brother, a friend, is born for adversity. So this friend is going to be in the mix when adversity comes. So let's see that. Let's go over here to Sirach chapter 6. And we're going to pick it up at verse 14. It's going to take us down to verse 17. Sirach 6:14 down to 17. It says, a faithful friend is a strong defense. And he that hath found such a one hath found a treasure. Nothing doth countervail a faithful friend, and his excellency is unvaluable. Because see right here, it's a brother born for adversity. This friend born for adversity and loveth at all times, keeps the promise. This is what's going to allow you to credit the friend. Because it's not going to be countervail, it's going to be proven. Verse 16, a faithful friend is the medicine of life, and they that fear the Lord shall find him. Whoso feareth the Lord shall direct his friendship aright. See, being on one accord with Jehovah. For as he is, so shall his neighbor be also. So, just proving the point that you aligned with Jehovah allow you to keep your promise. When adversity comes, to be a strong defense. Then the friend will get some credit. It's going to be proven. Let's continue on. I'll pick it up over here. Proverbs chapter 18. So I'm just going to go down. Proverbs 18:24. A man that hath friends must show himself friendly. And there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. So they very close. Matter of fact, we're going to go to Sirach. Go pick up some more information. Sirach chapter 40, verse 23. So a friend and a companion never meet amiss. They on one accord. But above both is a wife and her husband. Be us and Jehovah. Because if we don't want to accord with Jehovah, then we can be accounted as a friend after being proven. And you should never meet amiss. You're going to be all the time on one accord with Jehovah. You got to be proven to be that friend. Because he's 100% a friend to us. That promise that I mentioned over here, let me go back to it. In Proverbs, let's see right here. What was that? Proverbs 17 and 17. See, a friend love it at all times. You're not gonna Jehovah not gonna miss his promise. Not one bit. Now let's go over here to 1 John. We're gonna pick up some more information. See, 1 John, we're gonna pick it up at chapter 6. 1 John chapter 6. There we go. 1 John. Wait a minute. Maybe I wrote this one down. Let me make sure. No, that's not right. Let me see. One second. I don't know how I got this mixed up. One second. Sorry about that. I see where the issue is right here. It's 1 John chapter 3, 16. 1 John 3:16. Says, hereby perceive we the love of God, because he laid down his life for us. And we ought to lay down our lives for our brother. So, this promise of God, we perceive that because he laid down his life. So let's see this. Being on one accord with Jehovah. We're going to go to John chapter 15, verse 13. It says, greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. So, Jehovah laid down his life for us. We lay down our life for our friends. Putting off this carnal to put on this spiritual. Being in one accord. Keeping that promise. Verse 17 in 1 John chapter 3 says, but whoso hath this world's good and seeth his brother hath need and shutteth up his bowels of compassion from him, how dwelleth the love, the promise of God in him? You're not being a friend. If you shutting up your bowels, when you seeing that your brother hath need, your friend, you're not laying down that life, that carnal life, and sharing the spiritual life with them. Verse 14 in John chapter 15, it says, ye are my friends, if providing ye do whatsoever I command you. So right here, this is Jehovah speaking. Ye are my friends, if you do whatsoever I command you. Being on one accord with me, ye are my friends. You keeping that promise. You won't be shutting up the bowels of and have compassion on your friend. Because then you'll be showing that love of God that should be dwelling in you. Proving the friendship. Let's go for the Proverbs. We're going to go to Proverbs. We're going to pick it up at chapter 27. Proverbs 27. We're going to pick it up at verse 6. And then we're going to go down to 9 and 10. All right, it says, faithful are the wounds of a friend. So, a friend keeping up, being on one accord. Remember, you said the friend is a strong defense. You're going to be doing what you're supposed to be doing. Helping out your neighbor. Helping out your friend when they're in need. But the kisses of an enemy are deceitful. It's hypocrisy right here. The kisses of an enemy are deceitful because it's looking like they're a friend, but they really being in deceit. We're gonna see that. We're gonna see that later. Verse 9 and 10 says, ointment and perfume rejoice the heart. So doth the sweetness of a man's friend by hearty counsel. Thine own friend and thy father's friend forsake not. See right here, thine own friend, that's Jehovah. And thy father's friend, showing that's generational wealth. Being on one accord with Jehovah, passing it down from generation to generation. Forsake not. Don't forsake that. That's the true friend. Neither go into thy brother's house in the day of thy calamity. For better is a neighbor that is near than a brother afar off. Matter of fact, we're going to pick up some more of this. We're going to go over to Sirach. Go back to Sirach, actually. Sirach chapter 12. Let's see here. Sirach chapter 12. Some Ecclesiasticus. We're going to pick it up at verse 8 and 9. It says, a friend cannot be known in prosperity, and an enemy cannot be hidden in adversity. In prosperity of a man's enemies will be grieved. Read that again. In the prosperity of a man, enemies will be grieved. But in his adversity, even a friend will depart. So this friend, this one right here, this one not the true friend, because he said in his adversity, he gonna depart. True friends gonna be that defense. They gonna keep that promise. They still gonna be on one accord with Jehovah. We're gonna pick up a little more in Sirach. So Sirach chapter 7, we're gonna pick it up in verse 18. It says, change not a friend for any good by no means, neither a faithful brother for the gold of Ophir. So this gold, this worldly wealth, this substance, or for men, these riches or treasures, these material possessions, earthly wealth, mammon, change not a friend for any good, neither a faithful friend for the gold, for all this worldly possessions. Matter of fact, we're gonna pick up some more. We're gonna go over this. We're gonna stay in Sirach, but we're gonna go to chapter 9. Sirach chapter 9. We're gonna pick it up in verse 10. Watch it. It says, forsake not an old friend. Jehovah been a friend since been. Since been on the scene, Jehovah been a friend. We the one that ain't been faithful. It says, for the new is not comparable to him. A new friend is as new wine. When it is old, thou shalt drink it with pleasure. Because see, when it get old, it's been proven. So forsake not the old friend. That proven friend, that faithful friend. Now we're going to look at the flip side to this friend. When it said, but in the adversity, even a friend will depart, we're going to look at this type of friend right here. We're going to look at that one. We're going to go over to Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 19. And we're going to pick it up at verse 6. It says, many will entreat the favor of the prince, and every man is a friend to him that giveth gifts. See, they a friend with you. Why they getting these gifts? Everybody your friend. You get a, that's why the people like for example, Oprah. People going to the Oprah show. Every time they do a deal, everybody getting a gift. Oh, I want to be a friend of Oprah. They get a gift. Something. Yeah. At one point in time, she was giving out cars. That's not the type of friendship that you want to have. Just because somebody's giving you something, now you want to be their friend. That's corrupting you. Matter of fact, we're gonna go over to Exodus 23:8. This wasn't in there, but I gotta go over here. Exodus 23:8. Uh right here. Talking about this gift. It says, and thou shalt take no gift, for the gift blinded the wise and perverted the words of the righteous. So this gift will blind you from actually proving the friend. Because like, oh man, I get all kind of stuff from them. Yeah, I'm gonna be their friend. It's blinding you, corrupting you, changing your natural thing to do to prove someone. Matter of fact, we're gonna go over here. We're gonna go over here to Sirach. And we're gonna pick it up at chapter 37. Chapter 37, verse 1 and 2. It says, every friend saith, I am his friend also. But there is a friend which is only a friend in name. Right? Because you getting this gift. Oh, shoot, yeah. Hey, that's my friend. Hey man, you know Oprah? Oh yeah, that's my friend. Yeah, I get all kind of gifts. Yeah, Oprah always be my friend. Because of the gift. That's perverting. And see, watch this. Verse 4. It says, there is a companion which rejoiceth in the prosperity of a friend. See, as long as they getting their gift, good. It said, but in the time of trouble will be against them. As soon as all that gift giving stop going on, I mean, I never knew you. Because they only a friend in name. It's never proven. They was only there to get something. They was your friend only because they could put their hand out and you would give it. Like this right here. We're gonna stay in Sirach. We're gonna go to chapter 6. There we go. Sirach chapter 6. We're gonna pick up at verse 8. It says, for some man is a friend for his own occasion, and will not abide in the day of thy trouble. See, when the time of trouble gonna be against you. I was only being your friend because you was giving out them gifts. I was able to get this gift from you, this some money or whatever you was giving out. It's the only reason why they were being a friend. And there is a friend who being turned to enmity and strife will discover thy reproach. I really don't care nothing about you. Again, some friend is a companion at the table and will not continue in the day of thy affliction. But in thy prosperity, he will be as thyself. He good. And will be bold over thy servants. If thou be brought low, he will be against thee, and will hide himself from thy face. You can't find him. You had the 1,000,001 friends at first when all the gifts was rolling, but now ain't no more gifts rolling. Disappeared on them. They done pulled a Houdini. Separate thyself from thine enemies. That's what kind of friend they are. They really your enemy. And take heed of thy friends. So take heed, perceive, take caution. They must be proven. Because some of these, they calling themselves friends. They companion at the table. They in prosperity, but they really your enemy. So definitely need to perceive, take heed, attend. This is why. We're going to go over to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy chapter 13, 6-11. It says, if thy brother, the son of thy mother, or the son, or thy son, or thy daughter, or the wife of thy bosom, or thy friend, which is as thine own soul, entice thee secretly, saying, let us go and serve other gods, which thou hast not known, thou nor thy fathers, namely the gods of the people which are round about you, nigh unto thee or far off from thee, from the one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth. Thou shalt not consent unto him, nor hearken unto him, neither shall thine eye, your understanding, pity him. Neither shalt thou spare, neither shalt thou conceal him. Neither shalt thou conceal him. Many times, and we're going to get into this a little bit here later. It says, neither shalt thou conceal him. As many of the times that the disciples asked who was going to betray, every time it was shown to them. It was never concealed. Verse 9, but thou shalt surely kill him, thine hand shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterwards the hand of all the people. And thou shalt stone him with stones that he die, because he had sought to thrust thee away from the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. And the house of Israel shall hear and fear, and shall do no more any such wickedness as this among you. Matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and go over to it. Since I brought it up, let me go over here to it right now. Let me go to John. We're going to go to John. Actually, let's go to Matthew first. Matthew chapter 26. And we're going to pick up at verse 20. We're going to read down to 25. It says, now when the even was come, he sat down with the 12. And as they did eat, he said, verily I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me. And they were exceeding sorrowful, and began every one of them to say unto him, Lord, is it I? And he said, and he answered and said, he that dippeth his hand with me in the dish, the same shall betray me. Verse 24, the Son of Man goeth as it is written of him. But woe unto that man by whom the Son of Man is betrayed. It had been good for him, it had been good for that man if he had not been born. Then Judas, which betrayed him, answered and said, Master, is it I? And he said unto him, Thou hast said. Judas, he was never concealed. Not one time. Then the other time, let's go to John. John chapter 13, 23 through 26. Matter of fact, we're gonna do 21 through 26. It says, when Jesus had thus said, he was troubled in spirit and testified and said, Verily, verily, I say unto you that one of you shall betray me. Then the disciples looked one on another, doubting of whom he spake. Now there was leaning on Judas' bosom one of his disciples, whom Jesus loved. Let me read this again. Now there was one leaning on Jesus' bosom, one of his disciples, whom Jesus loved. Simon Peter therefore beckoned him that he should ask who it should be of whom he spake. He, lying on Jesus' breast, said unto him, Lord, who is it? So he asked him point blank, who is it? Jesus answered, He it is to whom I shall give a sop. And when I have dipped it, and when he had dipped the sop, he gave it to Judas Iscariot, the son of Simon. And after the sop, Satan entered into him, and Jesus said unto him, That thou doest, do quickly. It was never concealed. Peter asked him, he told him, and did it right after that. I don't understand how they were confused. He literally told them right here. 2 times he told them who was going to betray him. So it was never, neither shalt thou conceal. Never concealed. But let me get back on track. We're going to go over here to Micah. I don't know how that got up. We're going to go over here to Micah. And we're going to pick it up. Let's see, Micah chapter 7. And we're going to pick it up at verse 5. It says, Trust ye not in a friend. This type of friend. The one over here. Let's see, right here. The one that entice you. Trust not that. Don't trust that. Put not confidence in a guy. The one that's going to lead you away from Jehovah. Keep you from being in one accord. Keep the doors of thy mouth far from her that lieth in thy bosom. That's that strange woman. Matter of fact, let me go to it. So let's go look at this. Let's go over here to Proverbs. We're going to go to Proverbs. Man, I'm going to pull it over here. Proverbs 7 and 4. So say unto wisdom, thou art thou perfection and beauty, my sister. And call understanding thy kinswoman. Because remember, I showed you where your friend is your kindred. Same right here. Same thing. Wisdom. Thou art my sister. And call understanding my kinswoman. says, verse 5, that they may keep thee from the strange woman. That other one that's trying to be the friend, that's actually the enemy, from the stranger that flattered with her lips. The one that's trying to guide you over here to entice you to secretly. Proverbs, I'm gonna go right here. Proverbs, I'm gonna go up to chapter 5, 3 through 5. 5, 3 through 5. Right here. It says, for the lips of that strange woman, this is that friend that's trying to entice you, drop as a honeycomb, and her mouth is smoother than oil, but her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a two-edged sword. Her feet, her desires go down to death. Her steps take hold on hell. Don't put confidence in that one right there. Trust not a friend. This one right here. That one trying to be your friend too. Put you not confidence in a God. Remember, her feet go down to death. Her steps take hold on hell. Let's get a little bit of correction right here. We're gonna go to Ephesians. Ephesians chapter 5, and we're gonna pick it up at verse 15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Wherefore, be ye not wise. Be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is, and be not drunk with wine, wherein is excess, but filled with the Spirit, speaking to yourselves in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your heart to the Lord, giving thanks always for all things unto God and the Father in the way of our Lord Yahushua the Anointed. We can't be following this one, this strange woman. That's not the faithful friend. This the friend that give gifts. We're going to go over to Sirach and pick up a little more. Sirach chapter 6. Sirach chapter 6. Where you go? Sirach chapter 6, verse 2 through 4. Extol not thyself in the counsel of thine own heart, because you got to be on one accord with Jehovah, that thy soul be not torn in pieces as a bull straying alone. Thou shalt eat up thy leaves and lose thy fruit, and leave thyself as a dry tree. A wicked soul shall destroy him that hath it, and shall make him to be laughed to scorn of his enemies. So a wicked soul shall destroy him that hath it. That's that friend enticing you, that strange woman. So now let's look at a comparison. Satan was trying to get the disciples. Satan was even trying to get Yahushua. All of these gave examples or gave some encouragement on this. Now, however, Judas gave in to the temptation. I'm bringing this up because everyone has a choice to make. Everyone is given the opportunity. Some choose to find their own life And some choose to find the life of Jehovah. And if you truly choose Jehovah, there is nothing Satan can do to get you. Let's look at this. Let's go to James. James chapter 4, we're going to pick it up at verse 7. It says, submit yourselves therefore to God. Resist the devil, that strange woman, and he will flee from you. Some more right here in Ephesians. Real brief. Ephesians 4:27. This is a real brief one. It says, neither give place to the devil. So submit yourselves to the Lord, to God. Resist the devil and he will flee from you. Neither give him place. 1 Peter chapter 5:6-9. It says, humble yourselves, therefore, under the mighty hand, the mighty power of God, that he may exalt you in due time, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. Whom resist, steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world. So everybody getting hit with these same afflictions, but with this strange woman. Got to resist this devil. Matter of fact, Yahushua even told Peter what was up. I'm going to go over to Luke. Luke chapter 22:31. It says, and the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, remember, Satan has desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not. And when thou art converted, strengthen thy brother. That's why he said it right over here. He said, humble yourselves. Therefore, under the mighty hand of God. That's why he said it. Even Yahushua was tempted. We're going to go over in Matthew chapter 4. We're going to pick it up and we're going to read 1-11. It says, then was Jesus, Yahushua, led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. He going through this same affliction. And when he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he was afterward hungered. And when the tempter came to him, he said, if thou be the Son of God, command that these stones be made bread. But he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of God. Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city, and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple, and said unto him, if thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, it is written, he shall give his angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou shalt dash thy foot on a stone. Yahushua said unto him, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. Again, the devil taketh him up into an exceeding high mountain, and showeth him all the kingdoms of the world, and the glory of them, and said unto him, all these things will I give thee, if thou wilt fall down and worship me. Then Jesus said unto him, Get thee hence, Satan, for it is written, Thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve. Then the devil leaveth him, and behold, angels came and ministered unto him. Those messengers came. So he resisted the devil. Then he fled. Because he said, Humble yourself, therefore, under the mighty hand of God. Everybody had to go through those same afflictions. Now back to focus on Judas. Judas, again, he gave in. Let's look at Matthew. Judas was not on one accord with Jehovah. Matthew, we're going to pick it up at chapter 26. And we're going to pick it up at 45 through 50. Then cometh he to his disciples, and saith unto them, Sleep on now, and take your rest. Remember, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners. Verse 46, Rise, let us be going. Remember, behold, he is at hand that doth betray me. Verse 47, And while he yet spake, lo, Judas, scary, one of the 12, came, and with him a great multitude with swords and with staves, from the chief priests and the elders of the people. Now he that betrayed him gave them a sign, saying, Whomsoever shall I kiss, that same is he, hold him fast. And forthwith he came to Jesus, to Yahushua, and said, Hail, Master, and kissed him. And Jesus said unto him, Friend, wherefore art thou come? Matter of fact, he also said this too. Let's go over here. Let's go to Luke. Luke 22. We'll pick it up at 48. 48. But Jesus said unto him, Judas, betrayest thou the Son of Man with a kiss? Remember, you have to watch out for the kisses of your enemy. Yes, and wherefore art thou come? Then he also said, Betrayest thou the Son of Man with a kiss? That's how you gonna do me? We was learning together. Judas, you were one of the 12. I treated you as a friend. But that's Judas. This is not his thing. Let's go over here. Let's go over here to matter of fact, we're gonna go to Hebrews, because the thing that Judas was doing a willful act of betrayal. So we're gonna go to Hebrews. I'm gonna show this. Hebrews chapter 10, 26. For if we sin willfully, after that we have received the knowledge of the truth, there remaineth No more sacrifice for sins, but a certain fearful looking for judgment and fiery indignation which shall devour the adversaries. This is what Judas had to look forward to. He told him, he said, whoa. He told him. We went over. He said, whoa. Matter of fact, let's go to Proverbs chapter 13. Proverbs 13. Proverbs 13:20. It said, he that walketh with the wise men shall be wise, but a companion of fools, a companion, a friend of fools. Judas brought all the chief priests and all them over there. All the old elders, all them fools shall be destroyed. That certain fearful, looking for judgment and fiery indignation. Judas, looking at it, he portrayed the opportunity that he was given. He sold the opportunity. He forsook it. Matter of fact, we're going to go over to Matthew chapter 7. Matthew 7:6. It says, give not that which is holy unto dogs, neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn again to rent you. So give. So offer or gift. Not that which is holy to dogs. These dogs. These evildoers. So give not. The offer not which is holy to the dogs. Don't forsake it. See right here it says, neither cast your pearls before swine. So cast, to dispose, to remove. To put away. Before swine. The contemptible, the unclean, the bastard, the rich. Matter of fact, these pearls. What's a pearl? A pearl is a jewel, the treasures, a precious stone. Stone that we have is our foundation, our strength, which is Jehovah. So it says, cast, neither cast your pearl. So don't forsake, don't dispose of your strength, Jehovah. Don't separate yourself from Jehovah and throw that to the swine, the contemptible, lest they trample them under their feet, under their desires. They got you now. You didn't gave up your strength. They got you. They ain't gonna treat you like nothing and turn again to rent you, to separate you even further. Matter of fact, let's go over to Luke. Let's go to Luke. Luke chapter 8. We're gonna pick it up at verse 11. 11 down to 4. We're going to see how this worked out for Judas. 11 down to 14, I'm sorry. It says, now the parable is this. The seed is the word of God. Those by the wayside are they that hear. Judas heard. Then cometh the devil and taketh away the word out of their hearts, lest they should believe and be saved. Judas was in the mix. I showed you where the devil entered into him. The devil came, Satan entered in. Watch this. They on the rock are they that which when they hear receive the word with joy. Again, Judas was rocking with them. And these have no root, which for a while believe. Because Judas was in it. It wasn't like Judas was on the outside. Judas was one of the 12. Going here, apostleship, being an ambassador, which for a while believe. But in the time of temptation, the devil came, fall away. Verse 14. And that which fell among the thorns are they which, when they have heard, go forth and are choked with the cares and the riches and pleasures of this life. Them 30 pieces of silver. And bring no fruit to perfection. Same as when, if you break one of the laws, you break all of them. Judas rolled all through all of these. Matter of fact, I brought it up. Let me show it. Right here, we're going to go to James. James chapter 2, verse 10. It says, for whosoever shall keep the whole law and yet offend in one point, he is guilty of all. Right here, Judas right here. He got every last one of these. He got caught up in every last one of these. We're going to go to James. Matter of fact, we're going to go back to James. I'm going to pull it back over here. James chapter 4. James chapter 4. Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is an enemy of God. That friendship, that confederacy, the union in league. You're in league with the world. Judas was in league with everything else except for Jehovah. You got the cares of the world, the pleasures of life, temptation. In closing, we're going to end it right here in Ephesians. Ephesians chapter 6. We're going to pick it up at verse 10. And we're going to read down to 18. 10 down to 18. It says, finally, my brother, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, Take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, having your loins girt about with the truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all power and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. So, seeing here, this friend be in one accord with Jehovah, who is in one accord with Yahweh. That faithful friend, we want to be that. We don't want to be like Judas. We want to take a deep look at ourselves, and we want to root out all of the things that will cause us to fall to temptation. All the things that are in this world that you want to put in front of Jehovah. All the pleasures of this life. Because everybody's going to get tested. But are you going to be that faithful friend to Jehovah? Because he's definitely faithful to us. Plenty of mercy and truth and grace. So, again, this is Brother Ned. And I hope today that everyone was able to get some edification from this lesson that is brought forth. And I want to give everybody a shalom. Shalom, everyone.
Break it down, yo. Break it down. I can break it. I can break it down.